Good morning, Chairman Grassley, Ranking Member Feinstein, and members of the committee. My name is Tyler Reedy, and I'm here today to advocate on behalf of changing the federal rules to allow for a more just economy by repealing current laws and allow for the legalization of the sex industry and sex workers in this country. I come before you today to help end the stigma of those already working in the sex industry. By careful consideration of this committee, the entire Congress, and all levels of the federal government, I implore you to repeal Title 18, Chapter 117, Section 2422 of the U.S. Code. My proposal is simple. Repeal the current statute and allow for legalization of sex work and sex workers in which states and localities set their own guidelines for how to properly govern these practices. Through a repeal of the federal statute, we can see a devolution of power from the federal government to state and local governments that are more informed and better equipped to deal with the needs of their people. Just as states and localities set regulations for voting, sales of alcohol, and transportation, I and many others believe that sex work should fall into that same category. I now point you to the state of Nevada, where licensed brothels are illegal in counties with less than 700,000 residents. According to a 2018 article in the Washington Post, the late Dennis Hoff was the owner of the largest brothels in Lyon County, Nevada. Quote, he notes that between fees, taxes, and the tourism they generate, the Lyon County brothels that he owns contribute $10 million to the local economy, end quote. And that's just from one guy in one county. That's $10 million worth of taxable income that can promote new schools, more access to healthcare, and countless repairs to roads and bridges. Although you may not personally agree with Mr. Hoff's business, his legal and safe establishment has contributed significantly to the overall well-being of the state of Nevada. If we follow the economics of what Nevada can offer, imagine what other cities can offer. According to a 2007 study by the Urban Institute, the city of Atlanta's illegal sex economy was valued at $290 million. That same study valued Miami, Washington, D.C., and Denver's prohibited sex economies at $205, $103, and $40 million respectively. Just from those four cities alone, we see a masked section of the economy worth about $640 million. According to that same study, those who were responsible for managing the sex workers can bring in about $30,000 a week in income. By this estimate, we should understand that there are millionaires who are not paying any income taxes and are not fulfilling their civic duty of helping to fund programs that help those in need. If these millionaires were allowed to open legal and safe brothels all across the United States, following the Nevada method, we would have almost 3,000 brothels in this country. Doing some simple math, 3,000 times the $10 million estimate for Mr. Hoff, that is a $30 billion valuation. 30 billion taxable dollars that would help fund Social Security and Medicaid, veteran services, and thousands of other public works projects. Not only would projects receive new funding, but also thousands of unskilled laborers would be brought out of the shadows and receive regular employee benefits such as health insurance, retirement packages, and vacation time. Not only would they receive the same treatment as they would from other businesses, but we would also see thousands of people finally able to contribute to our economy in a legal way that would allow them to open checking accounts, apply for credit cards, and purchase property. The actual sex workers would benefit greatly from legalization of their line of work. In conclusion, the availability to our economy on what these dollars could do for us is astonishing. The increase of government funding and the newfound employment of thousands of unskilled workers would have a drastic impact on the economy. We would be on our way to seeing a new era where we no longer view sex workers as second-class citizens, but as contributing members of society. At this time, I will take any and all questions.